Samson had the worst taste in women, and he wasn't very good judge of character. He kind of saw people for what he could get out of them. He was more wrapped up in himself than he was anybody else. And Samson's biggest, greatest weakness was allowing his desires and his weaknesses to rule him rather than his God-given strength. His desires took him to a prostitute's house in the town of Gaza, and while he was there, the men of the city, Philistines, heard about it and decided they were going to kill him in the morning. But he decided to get up the midnight, and he carried the city gates on his back up a hill. Now, this was not just an ordinary garden gate. This was a city gate that was between 4 to 10 tons. It kept the city safe at night when closed, but it was also large enough to let carts in and out through them. Plus, the posts that held the gates to the walls and the bars that held them closed, he took them all with him, and he carried it off and up a hill. It is thought, because this was the city of Gaza, that as he carried the gates to the top of a hill, that the only hill around there was Hebron, and that would have been a distance of 40 miles, which would be a right distance to walk. Just walk, but never mind carrying a gate and then carrying it up a hill. So I always find this story slightly, it bemuses me. I don't really understand the purpose of it. So why did Samson do this? And you don't really ever really get told why he did it. But my personal take on this was he was leaving the city open to attacks in the middle of the night. They didn't have the security that they normally would have had. There was no way for them to get the city gate back as well, because if he did walk 40 miles with it, I mean, who was going to walk back 40 miles with it? Who had the strength of Samson at that time? So to get the city gate back, they would have to go and dismantle it and then carry it back bit by bit, and then reassemble it in the city. So it was leaving the city vulnerable, so that they weren't secure, and they were open to attack, not just from Samson, but also to anybody who was, sort of like riding past or anything like that there. And see, capturing the gate in battle, when you have big mighty battles, if you capture the gate, then that kind of meant you had victory over that city. So I kind of feel like Samson was telling them they weren't safe with him around. And it's a bizarre story, but it's the only thing I can think of is he was telling them that you're not safe. You're trying to kill me, and I've just left your city wide open here. So then Samson became a threat to the Philistines. And, if he had denied his own desires, it would have made this story so much different. But Samson didn't deny anything. He gave in to his desires, and he met Delilah and fell in love with her. He met her in the valley of Sorek, which is named after a variety of grape, which was forbidden to Samson. So again, Samson could not resist the forbidden anything. So the Philistine leaders came to Delilah and asked her to find out the secret of Samson's strength, which then adds to my theory from the last study that his physique wasn't the big, strong, macho man we were all led to believe, and he was just more look like an ordinary sort of like average man. So each leader, and there was 5 of them, were going to give her 1,100 pieces of silver. So that would have been 5,500 pieces of silver, and that was a lot of money. 10 pieces of silver was a standard annual salary for a labourer. So today it would have been the equivalent of being offered millions of pounds. So it was a lot of money. It wasn't just, you know, a few pieces of silver. It was a lot of money, and Delilah would have been very, very wealthy. The name Delilah means night, which is the opposite of what Samson means, which is sunny. It seems like opposites do attract, but it's not always a good thing. Samson was in love, and all he wanted was Delilah. So Delilah set to work and asked, "What's the secret of your strength? How can you be tied up and subdued?" And Samson tells her a yarn that, you know, 7 fresh bowstrings that have never been dried. I'd be like any other man. So she goes, tells the leaders, they get what she needs, tie him up, and she hides the Philistines in her outer room, and in her inner room or outer room, and then she shouts, "Oh, the Philistines have come to capture you!" Jumps up, breaks the bows, and she realizes he has lied to her. So then she goes on the whole thing: "You lied to me, you don't trust me, you're making a fool of me." So she then asks him again, and Samson tells her, "Tie me up with fresh ropes." And she gets the ropes, she ties them up again, has the men hidden, and shouts out, "The Philistines have come to capture you." He jumps up, snaps them all. Again, Delilah goes into her "Oh, you lied to me, you don't trust me, blah blah blah."